What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Humble Lecter, and today we got the Miles Morales from the Spider-Man 2 Gamerverse series over here. And in today's video, what we are going to do is, of course, check out the figure, go through to the articulation, accessories, and all that good stuff. And of course, share with you my thoughts and my opinions at the end of the video. Yes, it is very hard to talk here at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'll do my very best to, of course, come out with this review for you. So yes, without further ado, let's just open this bad boy up. So before we go on to the unpackaging here, the unboxing, we're going to see what we are having here. So this figure is definitely a perfect substitute or an addition to what we have gotten previously from this. So you can see that this one came from the Armadillo Bath Wave here, and that went for quite some time, and this is a re-release for this figure here because this one in the market is quite hard to find. And second thing is that it's actually quite pricey to get this, but with this figure here, definitely this price is going to drop, but it's going to drop a lot because this one still does have a few things up its sleeves compared to this. And we are going to go on to other parts of here, so we can see that the packaging here is very different. This one's bigger and does give you a little bit more details on this, a bit more character profile on him. And we go on to the sides here, we have a little bit of some product image on the sides, and on the other end we have the PS5 artwork over here. So now let's just unbox this bad boy up and see what we have inside. Okay, so here we have the Miles Morales figure, and in terms of accessories, this is pretty interesting because we do have quite a good fair amount here. So in terms of the hands, we have the twip hands here. We can see a pair of twip hands, which we have seen with this figure. We also have the open hands here, which also we have seen on this figure. And we do have the closed-fisted hands as well. So a pair of each, which we don't really get here. And we do have a nice cat on the Miles Morales figure with this wave, but on the other we do have the extra head sculpt. And if we go on to his power hands, I'm not really exactly sure, and I can't really remember what color was it in the game. I remember it was being yellow, but I'm not sure whether it was being blue here. But we do have these hands here, which we do have the electric hands, which I think they have definitely taken off from this figure here, which is the Gamerverse camouflage one. This one was the yellow and this one is blue, so it's exactly almost the same color as this. So you cannot make him full camouflagey with this, and this is another figure. So we have already 3 of the same exact figures here, which I'm not really complaining. I know the camouflage looks really cool, but the value on this dropped quite tremendously, I would say. It's actually a very underrated figure because it's one of its kind here. It does have the translucent look to it, and it looks really cool. But of course, people want the original Miles Morales figure, the more adult size figure, which I think looks really nice. And like I mentioned before, this price was really high, and I'm really glad that Hasbro did re-release this for people like me. So with this stupid blind box over here, I'm definitely just going to keep the box, but I'm going to take out the figure and pose around while this is going to be being shown here. So a little bit of some comparisons which we are going to show in this video, and because this, again, like I mentioned, is a full re-release at the end of the day. So if we look at the hands, you can see that the hands are a little bit different. So we have this hands here with a little bit of some marking on his palms, whereas this one does have the more simple look, I would say. So you can see that the difference is a little bit better here with the newer figure. So with the twip hands as well, you can see that we do have some painted red markings on his hand. The older one did have the markings, but it wasn't painted on. So I do like this new addition to this. And if we go on to his arms inside here, because let me just try to take this out and give you a better look on this. So excuse me for my ignorance, but I did realize that they do give you the closed-fisted hands as well. So the pair of hands is exactly the same as with this whole new figure. So having a closer look on him, we have the head sculpt from the previous one, which definitely fits onto this figure here, no problems whatsoever. So I'm going to just take this out here. So you can see that the head fits in really nice, no worries whatsoever, but I wouldn't say it's accurate to the actual game. But for the sake of this video, I am going to put back the original head on him. Okay, and now we're going to do some comparisons in terms of the Spider-Man here. So in terms of the torso from the front, we can see that it is almost the same, exactly the same as with the previous figure. So like I mentioned before, the hands are a little bit different. If we go on to the sides, this is where you're going to get the bleeding arms on the newer figure. The previous one was very plain, and you can see that it does have some new sculpted lines on this new figure, which we don't really see on the older one. And on the inner armpits there isn't anything, which is same thing as on with this previous one. And let me try to spot some other differences. So on the feet, he does have the red boots, whereas on the previous one is all black. And going on to the face mask here, it looks pretty much the same for me. There's a little bit some paint smudges on his old eyes. And going on to the back here, it is about the same in terms of the sculpting and also the design. And overall here, as we can see, nothing too bad. So to be honest, if you have the new figure, it's not too bad in terms of replacement. There isn't a really major difference with the old one. And if you look at the other accessories, this is how the cat would look like, which looks really cool. So you can put him all around here, or you can hold him, which is looking really nice. And if you compare this to the previous camouflage figure, again, both of them looks really nice and a really underrated figure. The hands as well fits in here, so you can kind of switch it around if you do not have the previous figure. So if you want to have that, you can just switch between all three of them because they do use the same exact body mold. And with all of that being said, now we are going to go on to articulation. So in terms of head movement, you can go up all the way here this much, which is really good. It does use a dumbbell joint on him. Looking downwards, you can go downwards, pretty cool, I would say. And of course, you can rotate it as much as you want. You do have some nice pivoting over here. Going on to the arms, you can give you a nice T-pose over here. You do have your butterfly joints on him, which can go forward and backward. Pretty good amount of decent here range. And of course, you can rotate it 90, 180, 360 degrees here. You get some nice bicep swivel. You get your pinless joints over here, similar to the previous one. Very nice, can bend all the way inwards that much. And of course, in terms of the wrist rotation here, and you get some nice hinge up and down. Going on to the crunch, you can crunch forward here a lot, I would say, and backwards here as well. One thing to note is that if you crunch, you can notice that the legs doesn't really follow through on him, but the front here does follow through pretty decently, very nice. And going on to the waist, you get some nice waist rotation. Going on to the legs, you can spread out here this much. You can kick forward here at about 90 degrees. And also on the upper thigh, you get some nice upper thigh swivel. Double jointed pinless knees here as well, which kicks back very nicely. And also you get some nice excellent ankle pivots here as well. And here we have him next to some other Miles Morales figures. We have the Across the Spider-Verse over here. We have the latest one here as well. I do have a nice hiccup. And we have this one from the... which Builder figure? I think it was the Space Venom. And also we have the camouflage figure here as well. Alright, and here he is next to the Gamerverse, the latest Gamerverse Spider-Man Peter Parker figure. And I do like the height difference in a little bit of both of them here, but I did wish this figure was a little bit taller and also kind of slimmer, whereas this one could be a little bit shorter compared to this Gamerverse Spider-Man. That is it with the Miles Morales figure, and for a rating, I'm going to give this a nice solid 7.5 out of 10. I mean, accessory-wise, it isn't too bad. You don't have any builder figure, you don't have any extra hits, but they still give you a good amount of hands, and they give you an extra accessory with the cat, which we did see with the Captain Marvel figure, and definitely this is really great for those people who do not have the first one here, and also for those people who like just want to have it on display, which works really fine. And of course, I think this is a really good figure to have. So these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this, and of course, if you guys want to find me on my socials, you can do so on the Humble Lecter. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't click the like and smash that subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. I'll see you guys in the next one.